We are here with Chris Sabat, often credited with being the voice of DBZ, along with a bunch of other stuff. How you doing?
Good. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. So, I guess the most obvious question is, how did you get started in voice acting?
Well, oddly enough, I was going to school. I had a little school called University of North Texas. Have you heard of it?
I have heard of it, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, we just discovered just before this interview that that I'm also like UNT alumni, which kind of is pretty rad.
Awesome.
I was going to school at University of North Texas, and I got a page from, that's this little box that doctors used to carry, and really dorky people used to carry to get a message from somebody so you could call them back on a payphone. I got a page while I was in an astronomy class at UNT from another UNT grad named Carly Hunter, who's now the head of all production out at Funimation.
Oh, wow.
And she said, hey, we're doing this Japanese show, and we'd like to have auditions for it at the studio. Would you be interested in doing that? I know you did a lot of voice work. And I said, sure, that'd be fun. And so I went out, auditioned for Funimation, which at the time was in about a 40-minute drive from Denton, kind of in North Virgin Hills, near Fort Worth or whatever. Drove out there, auditioned, I got the part of Yamcha and Igor in this little movie called Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle. And what it turned out to be was a test that Funimation was doing to see if they could dub an episode in Texas rather than in Canada, where they were previously dubbing Dragon Ball Z. And then they asked if I'd be interested in helping cast and direct the series. And that's where pretty much voice acting as I know it now started.
Wow. So you were a big part of the new generation of dubbing in America as it is.
I saw dubbing in America change from what it was to what it is now. I kind of lived throughout that whole change. When we were first starting, Dragon Ball Z, the intention of Dragon Ball Z was not to maintain the integrity of a Japanese property, which is what the goal is now at Funimation. But back then, the idea was to get a cartoon on TV, and they didn't want necessarily anybody to even think about whether it was from Japan or not. They just wanted kids to like it and buy the toys and stuff like that. And so it was through Dragon Ball Z, which I think a lot of people who watch Dragon Ball Z have gone through the same transition. It was through Dragon Ball Z that I began to experience what anime actually is. A lot of people say that Dragon Ball Z is sort of a gateway to other anime, and it certainly was for me. So along the line, we started with Dragon Ball Z, then we went on to Yu Yu Hakusho, and then we started getting more purist, anime properties like Fruits Basket, and then Full Metal Alchemist came along, and then everything got really serious. It was a pretty cool ride, honestly.
Wow, yeah, awesome. I myself started on Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid, and I watched it religiously. It was great. So, what was your favorite character? Out of everything you've ever done, favorite character voice?
Man, it's really, I know it sounds really cheesy, and I don't always want to bring it back to Dragon Ball Z, but I have no choice. Okay, I'm going to say two now, just to keep it diverse. But Vegeta, hands down, has been my favorite character. He's so epic, and I've been doing that character since 1998. It's been almost, 12, almost 13 years that I've been doing this character, and it never stops. When we think it's over, we either redub something or we do work on another game. And I love Vegeta's story. But there is a show right now called Panty and Stocking featuring Garterbelt, and I'm Garterbelt in that. And that is the first time I've gotten to do the voice of a black guy, and B, do a voice on such a weird, crazy show. I've never had more fun dubbing it. I'm actually thinking I might have had more fun dubbing it than the show is actually funny. I just love that was such a wild show to work on.
Can you do a little Vegeta for us?
Vegeta sounds like this. He's sort of my voice, but high and scratchy, and sounds like he has hemorrhoids or something like that.
Yeah.
He's essentially Yamcha's voice with raspiness added into it.
Huh. I never noticed that before. So, Yeah, you've been working in the industry for years. You've voiced.
Oh my God, sorry, the police are coming.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no, it's good. They passed us.
It's cool. It's cool, everyone calm down. Got it under control.
You've voiced so many characters. What would you say was the hardest one for you to voice?
Let's see. All the Dragon Ball Z stuff was hard, but I'm just going to cancel that out. Let's see. Hard characters to voice. I was a guy named Kikucho in a show called Samurai 7, and it was based on the Seven Samurai story. It ran on the IFC channel for a while. I don't know if you ever saw it. I played this giant robot named Kikucho. He was a red robot. And all of his lines had to be yelled like this, like all of them, because he was like this kid in a tin can with an old man's voice. And that was really hard to voice, only because it was just extremely painful to do over a long period of time.
All right. Well, we're running out of time, but just a couple small questions. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh wow, man! I have always wanted the ability to stop time, and I will say that in my kind of puberty years, my intentions were not as pure as they are now. But still, I want to be able to stop time, do a bunch of stuff, and then turn it back on. Then I have a free day.
It's cool. And if you could build a dream Pokemon team, what would it be?
Whoa, dream Pokemon team? Well, it'd probably be all girls, but no. Okay, here's my dream Pokemon team. It would be, let's see, Travis Willingham, Laura Bailey, let's see, Colin Clinkerbeard, Lucy Christian, Brina Palencia, and maybe Todd Habercorn, all dressed as monkeys. And I would assimilate to all of them. I have this legion of tiny voice acting Pokemon around. Is that what you call it, assimilate, or do you? What is it you do to Pokemon to own them? Like
you catch them.
Oh, you catch them?
It's a Pokeball.
Because I did one episode of Pokemon. I did an episode of Pokemon. I played a guy named Cliff, and he was like a forest ranger or something, and he wanted to assimilate with one of the Pokemon, but I don't know what it means. You have to ask them, right? And if they're promised to someone else, that's okay. If you don't know the answers.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Good, because I'm making it up as I go along too.
All right. Well, we're out of time, but thank you so much, Chris.
Dude, UNT, awesome.
UNT, thank you so much for doing the interview, and yeah, great.
It's my pleasure, man. So where can I see this?
It'll be up on YouTube here within the next week, 2 weeks. I don't know. School's about to start. So.
How do I search for it?
Search for Blue Epsilon Kappa on YouTube. It's a little product placement.
And do you have other actors that are doing this kind of stuff too? What do you
yeah, we interviewed T House yesterday. We're also interviewing Ellen McLean,
cool.
voice of Gladys. We'll be interviewing Little Karibo and Ego Raptor, I think.
Oh, I love that dude. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, but thanks again for doing this, and we'll see you all next time.
Thanks.